Here's a very spooky song about this lady, Anne Boleyn. Now in the Tower of London, large as life, the ghost of Anne Boleyn walks, they declare. Now Anne Boleyn was once King Henry's wife, until he made the headsman bob her hair. Oh yes, he did her wrong long years ago, and she comes back at night to tell him so. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. She comes to haunt King Henry, she's been giving him what for. Gadzooks, she's gonna tell him off for having spilt her gore. And just in case the headsman wants to give her an encore, she has her head tucked underneath her arm. Now sometimes old King Henry gives a spread for all his guys and gals, a ghostly crew. The headsman cuts the meat and sliced the bread. Then in comes Anne Boleyn to clear the dew. She holds her head up with a wild war whoop, whoop, whoop. And Henry says, don't drop it in the soup. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. The sentries think that it's a football that she carries in, and when they've had a few, they shout, is Army going to win? For they think that it's Red Grange instead of poor old Anne Boleyn, with her head tucked underneath her arm. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. Along the drafty corridors for miles and miles she goes. She often catches cold, poor thing, for it's cold there when it blows. And it's awfully awkward for the Queen to have to blow her nose. Achoo! With her head tucked underneath her arm. I hope you weren't too scared by that song.